Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Aux Talks. Appreciate you watching the show today. Thanks for supporting this channel. Appreciate you hitting the thumbs up button for me, liking these videos. I do also appreciate and do read your comments. I try to respond to as many as I can, time permitting. Please share the videos with people that you know and love, and please also subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Let me cover quickly before I jump into the housing story, which is the subject of the thumbnail. I want to cover this Verizon outage, which hit the East Coast last night, like midnight, 2 a.m. in the morning. Please comment below if you guys had problems with your cell phone or internet service, because I want to keep covering these stories. About a month and a half ago, Verizon had a major outage that impacted a lot of people in this country between the two coasts, including myself and my family. All of our phones, where the SOS was coming on the phone, and you could not make or receive calls, and you could not send or receive text messages. So basically just shut down all communications for the Verizon cell phone customers. So again, evidently on the East Coast last night, this happened again at a Newsweek this morning. Millions of people on the East Coast experienced Verizon Fios internet outages in the early morning hours of Tuesday. The affected area, based on a map of user-reported problems on Down Detector, spans approximately 300 miles from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to Richmond, Virginia. A Verizon spokesperson told Newsweek in an emailed statement at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, a network issue early this morning disrupted service for some Fios customers in the Northeast for a short period of time. So again, it said midnight or 1 a.m. was a disruption. This came out at 7 a.m. acknowledging a problem. Reports of the outages spiked between midnight and 2 a.m. Eastern Time, with the network receiving thousands of complaints during this time. According to Down Detector, 90% of these complaints relate to the internet services. 9% were described as total blackout, while 1% affected TV streaming. Again, let us know here below if you guys were impacted. And we discussed on the show about a month ago when I covered this, how we're all so dependent on these devices, and assuming that the ability to communicate with our family, our friends, our loved ones will always be intact. And when we have events like this, should be a real eye-opener that it is a very fragile system, okay? And when it goes down through a hack, through a grid down, whatever it is, you are going to have disrupted communication. So do you have, and have you thought through a backup plan to be able to communicate with your loved ones and family, not if this happens again, but when it happens again? And what happens if it happens and it's down for days or weeks on end, okay? Another online tracker outage report says also reported receiving outage reports for Verizon Fios in around 26 cities, as well as Verizon. Other major internet service providers such as AT&T, Cox, and Xfinity also reported a spike in reported outages, according to Down Detector. Commenters on the site noted that their internet had been down for hours and criticized Verizon for not yet addressing the issue as of 3 a.m. Eastern Time. And we know they didn't address it until 4 hours later at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. So look at it, folks. When this happens, you're not going to get any explanation. You're not going to get an apology. You're not going to get a credit for that month's cell phone bill. You are just going to have to just deal with it. And whatever the impact ramifications are, and hope to God that it's not in the time of a major emergency, right? But if it is, please consider some backup plans. You know, most of us don't even have landlines anymore. We rely on the cell phones for everything. So do you have some other apps lined up that you could communicate at least through text messaging with family or with loved ones? That might be a workaround. Maybe reestablishing a landline connection at your home or at your place of business. Just thinking through a couple of possible alternatives. It says the Verizon Fios network, another commenter, has been down for nearly 2 hours, and neither they nor at Verizon support have posted anything, one user wrote. Another comment, so massive widespread Fios internet outage with no acknowledgement from Verizon. It's been over an hour. They don't seem to be acknowledging anyone. It's mainly the East Coast area. It's a little concerning, another person said. So just wanted to bring that to your attention. You might have seen it posted or heard it on the news elsewhere. Doesn't matter whether you're a Verizon customer or not. Have a backup plan in place. Let me address the housing story, which was the topic or the subject of the thumbnail I posted today for the video. This is out of the Wolf Street just a few minutes ago. And it says the most splendid housing bubble in America, October update. Prices drop in 29 of 30 big metros, even San Diego and Los Angeles. And I checked let me address this first paragraph and I'll talk about the mortgage rate. The mix that drives the housing market now, lowest demand since 1995 and surging supply of existing homes, as buyers are on strike because prices are too high. Active listings have been surging all year in just about every major market, including in formerly hot markets such as Florida and in Texas, where they reached the highest level since at least 2016. In addition, since the first rate cut, listen to this, since the first rate cut, mortgage rates have risen back to around 7%. I just checked bankrate.com before I started recording, and the national average on a 30-year fixed mortgage is 6.91%. It's pretty high, okay? And that's if you have really good credit, probably if you have a substantial or traditional, say, down payment, and you're able to prove that you have enough money in the bank to make your payments. Okay, 10 years closed out today. The 10-year bond at 4.42%, spiked, I think, over 10 or 11 basis points. Massive spike. This will reverberate into the mortgage markets in the coming days and weeks, I bet. It says home builders have been taking market share from sales of existing homes by lowering their price points, buying down mortgage rates, and throwing incentives into the mix to where payments on a new house are below payments on an equivalent existing home. And facing ballooning inventories of unsold houses, they continue to aggressively price their inventory and motivate buyers with big incentives. It says they're making deals and are absorbing demand that would have gone to existing home sellers, and their sales have held up, it says. Renting has become a far cheaper solution than buying in recent years. After the spike in prices and the surge in mortgage rates, homeowners insurance, property taxes, and maintenance expenses, more and more people who could buy are renting or are planning to rent when they move the next time. Leave your comment below. Are you guys renting out of choice because of the prices of houses right now? Are you renting out of necessity? Are you sitting on the sidelines and waiting? What is happening in your area with regard to the listings and prices? I'm going to share what the prices are doing in major metro cities here in a second. It says, with these dynamics, prices in major metro cities, even in markets such as San Diego, have started to sag. Prices of single-family houses, condos, and co-ops fell in October from September in 29 of the 30 large metro areas. By Metropolitan Statistical Area, MSA, the top month-to-month home prices in 19 of the 30 MSAs were down from their respective peaks in mid-2022. So roughly just 27, 28 months ago. Let me share with you these drops, okay? Because from my perspective, it's only going to keep getting worse. Austin, Texas, 20.4% decline. San Francisco, 10% decline. Phoenix, 8.3%. San Antonio, Texas, 7.5%. Denver, Colorado, 6.9%. Sacramento, 6%. Salt Lake City, 5.7%. Portland, 5.4%. Dallas, down 5%. Seattle, down 4.9%. Honolulu, down 4.5%. Tampa, down 2.8%. Nashville, down 2.6%. And Houston, down 2.4%. If you guys live in those areas, please drop us a comment. Let us know what you're seeing. It says the data they're reporting on just now is from Raw Zillow Home Value Index, the ZHVI, released today. The ZHVI is based on millions of data points in Zillow's database of all homes, including public records, tax data, MLS brokerage, local realtor associations, real estate agents, and households across the United States. So we are seeing major declines. Is this bubble starting to burst? And how far do these home prices have to fall? The run-up has been massive. since 2022. Massive. Some of the run-ups in the values of these homes was off the charts. Okay, some of them had hundreds of percentage of gains. That now that air is starting to come out of the bubble. Okay, so where does it end? Just be very, very careful, guys, if you are looking to buy right now, unless you're getting huge incentives from a developer on a new home. Even if you are, plan for there to be further price drops, okay? And plan accordingly. That being said, I'll leave it there today. I appreciate you guys again watching, sharing, and subscribing. Talk to you all soon. Bye.